What's up, dudes? Skoks here, back, Chicago Blackhawks Central. Gonna go over some of the recent Hawks updates um, from a few interesting partnerships and what's it called, the the distributor, manufacturer for NHL hats now, and the Hawks changed a few, or actually a lot of jersey numbers. Just some very interesting stuff to get into today on Saturday morning around 11:20 today. So yeah, let's get into it and let me roll the intro. Yeah, so I actually wanted to start today, starting out with the first news that came out a few days ago. Let me put it up on the screen so everyone can get an eye on it. Let's see if it looks okay. So starting out with the hat, the hat team deal. I am extremely pumped up for this one. Awesome to see that they're gonna go with New Era because Fanatics did have what what's it called? They did have their rights, to the gear. I've seen a lot of Fanatics hats, shirts, of course the jerseys, but a lot of merch from Fanatics, and I'm not a big fan of their brand. So it's awesome to see the NHL go with New Era here. If everyone could see that on screen, extremely pumped for that. As a hat person, love all hats, Chicago sports, but New Era definitely one of the top brands. So it's awesome to have that instead of Fanatics just completely running the show for the NHL with the merchandise because the hats and just the apparel. If you've seen like the Hawks like draft hats and some of the shirts and stuff like that, just not very impressive at all from materials to design. Just not a big fan. But New Era, man, that's big news from Sean Shapiro here, putting it out a few days ago. The NHL and New Era have come to a league-wide licensing agreement. New Era can now make license hats for all 32 NHL teams. Awesome, man, just awesome. There had been individual team deals before, Buffalo being most notable, but this is first. This is the first league-wide deal with New Era. Awesome, can't wait. That's awesome to see. If you love hats, right? That's awesome. Charlie Romeliotis a few days ago, Teuvo Teravainen wearing a Blackhawks hat in his re-introductory press conference over Zoom. He dug up one of his old Hawks hats, threw that on for the interview. Uh, cool to see Teuvo once again. Cannot wait to see them on the ice, but awesome to see them on video now. Let's see here. A few stories from the Tavo signing, right? From Charlie, once again, Teuvo Teravainen said he does, in fact, recall Kyle Davidson picking him up from the airport when he first came to Chicago from Finland a decade ago. I do remember that. In quotes, it's kind of funny. It's kind of a funny story right now. He's a GM, not the driver anymore. It was a long time ago, but I remember hanging out with him a little bit, and he was driving me around and helping with the small things. I was a young player and I didn't really know anything about anything. I just came from Europe, so it was awesome to have some people help me out. He seemed like a good guy back then, so it's not a big surprise where he is right now. And that's a big time jump, man. From picking up players from the airport to running an original six franchise, and running it very well so far in the rebuilding process. Shout out to GMKD. Just awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Once again, we covered, a little while ago when the news came out with the Washington Capitals, but Cat Friendly is dead. It is now officially dead. Scott Maxwell, he put out the official um, goodbye letter from Cat Friendly, so they are gone. They're dead. And dang, man, that kind of stinks, you know. But keep an eye on like Puckpedia, Spot Rack, and sites like that. It's very, very helpful. A substitute for Cat Friendly. So we'll see how those sites handle the statistics, analytics, everything, right? And the cap, because people like keeping an eye on the cap. Um, some news from the Rockford Ice Hogs. Marcel returns to Rockford on the AHL uh, contract, and I believe it's just 1 year, which is kind of interesting since we drafted him last year. So not sure why you would just be giving him like short deals, but we'll see how that turns out. Maybe there's something going on, like off ice. Maybe they don't want to commit to him too long. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I did see Marcel at training camp last summer with the Hawks, and I believe he scored 2 goals in scrimmage, like a breakaway and then like a one timer. The guy was buzzing in training camp last year, so had a bit of a weird season with injury and stuff like that, but hoping to see him contribute for the Ice Hogs this year, definitely. So nice they named him twice, Marcel. Um, and some more Rockford Ice Hogs news. Opening night is against the Grand Rapids Griffins. So Sebastian Cosa, the top goalie prospect for the Red Wings, right? And I believe that's Drew Comessa with his sick mask, man. That is awesome. With the Chicago skyline, nice flag on there, the tomahawk on the side. That's awesome. Awesome mask from Drew. So that is the opening night matchup. Um, Rockford Ice Hogs and Grand Rapids Griffins. Now, a little more prospect news today. Oliver Moore from the Beauty League. Not exactly sure what it is, but I'm guessing it's just like a summer type of, little showcase, a couple scrimmages, I'm guessing. But he had 3 goals, 3 assists, all in his the Beauty League debut. Not too much to look into. It's probably just more like a scrimmage, but it's cool to see that he's popping off, going off in those type of settings because he's definitely a very very talented player, man. And we are all excited for Oliver Moore soon. And Mario Terabasi, he put out a clip from Oliver Moore. Yeah, it seems like more of just an easy scrimmage, but cool to see him bury some goals there. Shout out Mark Wahlberg. I found this picture a few days ago. Just random, man. With the Hawks logo, the throwback Indian head logo. Not sure where he was wearing this shirt, but it's interesting. Definitely interesting. Also, the Hawks put out their newest every shift on YouTube, and you could definitely check that out. And it's just the behind the scenes for like the development camp and a little from the draft, a little from the combine, just talking about all the prospects. Very, very interesting. A lot of Artem Levshinov, a lot of behind the scenes, and that's always awesome to see uh, from teams. Just seeing behind the scenes stuff. It's always cool. So let's take a look at the AHL schedule. I believe there's a little news on it. Um, let's see here. There doesn't appear to be any AHL outdoor games on the 24-25 schedule until the Chicago Blackhawks looked into having Rockford host an AHL outdoor game at Wrigley Field, but were unable to make it work. That's very, very interesting. Um, that the Hawks were trying to get the AHL do um, to do an outdoor game for the Rockford Ice Hogs. That's very interesting. Definitely cool to see. Um, them make an effort at that, and that would have been awesome. That would have been awesome to see an outdoor game for the Rockford Ice Hogs and the Hawks prospects. But a little more like early schedule news, right? Um, Saturday, October 5th, the home away from home series, right? Where we played in Milwaukee and once again at the Pfizer Forum, Hawks and Blues once again. The Blues are just getting boring to me. It's like like we're playing them in the Winter Classic, I guess that's fine. But can we play someone else? Maybe just switch it up a little. But that's all right. Home away from home with the St. Louis Blues. I guess it's more of a closer in distance type of thing. People could get out to see that game, but cool to see that as well in Milwaukee. I believe Alex Vlasic was at the Windy City Smokeout near the United Center, so he's doing some event there, helping out the Hawks with some content. Looks like he's chowing down on a brat there, a brat and I think a pickle. But yeah, definitely cool to see. And let's get to some of the more interesting news from recent days. The number changes with the Hawks. And if anyone has any thoughts on, I guess we could start with the main one. Is the most interesting one is with Lucas Reichel switching from 27 to 73. Now, I know a lot of other people have brought it up. Um, is you know, are the Hawks going to retire the Jeremy Roenick number 27 up in the United Center rafters? If they're retiring 27, I understand why, and he meets the criteria. And Lucas just he's cool with switching up back to his Team Germany number 73. That's cool, but it's going to be interesting to see if they do retire 27. Uh, I'm thinking they do, but I'm just not too sure on it. He does meet criteria. A bit of a questionable. Um, how how do you say it? A bit of a questionable, questionable actions off ice with Jeremy Roenick. Not too long ago, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with number 27. Definitely will. But let's read off some numbers here. Patrick Maroon, 77. TJ Brody, 78. Teuvo Teravainen going back with his original 86. Awesome. Paul Ludwinski, number 90. Ilya Mikheyev, 95. Gavin Hayes, 92. Awesome. Let's go to the left side here. Craig Smith, veteran winger, number 15. Alec Martinez, number 25. Jalen Lipin in Rockford, 43. Tyler Bertuzzi sticking with 59. That's cool. I like that number on him, and it's always been his number, so that's cool. Um, Laurent Brossois going with 39. Former Hawks legend Dennis Gilbert, right? Defenseman had 39, so that's funny to see. Joey Anderson going with 22 this year. Interesting, very interesting. What number was Joey Anderson last year? I completely forgot. Was it in the 20s? It might have been in the 20s. I don't remember. For Joey Anderson, I cannot remember his number last year. But and then let's get to the interesting switch with Kevin Korchinski and Artem Levchinov swapping numbers. Korchinski going back to his junior number with 14 and giving up 55 for Artem Levchinov. I thought Artem would have uh, went with like a single digit number if you know Connor Murphy was no longer here in a while or something like if he stuck with number 5. But interesting to see the 55 double five from Kevin Korchinski taking his 55. Yeah, so if anyone has any thoughts on that JR switch, the Jeremy Roenick and Lucas Reichel number switch, it's going to be very, very interesting. And Korchinski going back to his junior number, and I think he has said in past interviews that he loves the number 14. So um, didn't really see that one coming, but hey, man, wear whatever you want, right? Uh, and I think 14 looks pretty cool, actually. So shout out to Kevin Korchinski and Levchinov getting their numbers here. And shout out Dick Sporting Goods, man. They had this little Bedard Jumbo Squeezies thing. Just like a little, uh, squishy toy, for randomness. But that's crazy. Dick Sporting Goods. If you're ever in the Chicagoland area, um, the Hawks section, everything is Bedard. There's, obviously his jerseys. Then they have a bunch of T-shirts with his face all over it. Those squishy toys. They had like fake pucks, with his name all over it. Sweaters with his name all over it. His face is all over it. I mean, wow, they are really pushing Bedard at Dick's Sporting Goods now. That's awesome to see, and it was pretty funny when I saw it because everything had his face on it. It was nuts, but that's definitely something to be excited about. He's a special player, and he's going to be very, very, very good for us. So I'm pumped about that. But that wraps up the recent Hawks update. We will be back this next week coming up. Enjoy the weekend. There's summer league going on. I'm going to be tuning into the Bulls later. Um, check out some rookies, and yeah, keep an eye on recent updates. But we will be hearing from the Hawks, right? More this week. Hopefully, some interesting stuff before prospects come back for the camp, and training camp news uh, kicks back up. But we will be back then. We will see you later. Let's go Hawks.